Yeah, it is recording.
Good. Okay. Ready? Yes. Start.
Hello everybody, my name is Linh. I'm from Vietnam, and today thank you all for being here for my presentation first. And today my presentation will be about group dynamics. And what will you see in this presentation? You can see it right here. Yes, I set agenda. You can know what is group dynamics, and then you can know how can you achieve group dynamics in your company. Because group dynamic is a very broad concept, so I will only mention about three main perspectives. That is goal setting, communication, and social interdependence. It will proceed with a conclusion, bibliography, and there will be time for questions. For the rule statement, I have came up with this idea. Synergy is a core aspect for success in a company. The term synergy refers to the rise of a result after many interactions between individuals. Well, as a Greek philosopher, Aristotle, who is as the same here as Plato, he said that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So in a company, if you want your company to be successful, to be productive, you need all the departments, all your employees to work together effectively. So synergy is what needs in a company. So how can you achieve this? The question is that, and the answer with group dynamics is what will help you to achieve it. But if we run to group dynamics, we will have to understand what is a group. Well, many people usually think that a group is just a collection of individuals, collection of people, but no, it's not. Group have many meanings. First, it could be a group of people who want to achieve the same goal, someone who is interdepending, interfering, and interacting with each other. That's also a group. In other case, there are many people who feel that they belong to a group. There is also a definition. And the most common one that we want to see in the company is when people working while joining with each other to achieve their personal need. That is how a company works. So group dynamic. What is group dynamics? Group dynamic consists of the study for the nature of group life. This considers behavior, interrelation, members, developments, and even studying as a group so that our group can develop. On to the first one. We can see here, this is an example of a group. This is a picture of 4 people rolling. Yes, you can see. These 4 people, you can see here A, B, C, D, 4 rolling. They have many personal goals. One want to have money, one want to be famous, one want to be fit, one want to win the first prize. Their personal needs are different, but how can they come to each other as a team? It's all thanks to this person, the cosette here. It's a person who leads the team. He will motivate everyone. He will set a clear goal so that everyone can know what they're doing. And then they can follow it, they work on it, and become a team, productive team. Yes. So this person here, what he will do first when he meet a team is to set a goal. Well, goals of a group. You would have know about the SMART goal setting, right? Because we will not need to the previous quarter. Here we have a slightly different setting, the START goal setting. Well, for the START goal setting, the S still stand for specific. Well, it's like when you're setting a goal, you need it to be clear. You need a plan. It needs to answer the 5 W and the 1 H. Which, when, who, how, where, and why. That is the question that you need to answer when setting up a goal. For example, I'm HR manager. I am saying that, let's raise our employees' motivation. That's not a goal. you need to have a goal like, okay, we need to raise our employees' motivation level by giving them more hours to relax in work, giving them higher wage, giving them more opportunity to self-actualizing, and etc. Well, on to the next one. The first T stands for trackable. What does trackable mean? Yeah, in this case, trackable means that the goal needs to act as a guideline for the employees. This guideline will be the criteria for the process towards the goal. An example, you set a goal, you stay on track with the goal, then you can achieve a portion of that goal. You can get a portion of what you are doing, and you'll be happy with it. And then it will motivate yourself to move on, to work with it. That's the trackable goal. For the A, achievable. Achievable means the goal needs to be big. If a goal is small, you cannot, you don't have the motivation for the employee to do it. If a goal is big enough, your employee will motivate themselves to work for it. And achievable also means that if you're setting up a goal, you need to set a goal with steps, because you cannot jump right into the conclusion. You have to take small step at a time, and then the employee, they can develop themselves, they can expand, and they can gather all the information they need and reach for the goal. So that's what you need to do. And the R stands for relevant. Relevant, a goal needs, it can be big, but it cannot be unrealistic. If a goal is unrealistic, if it is not logically explainable, your employee will doubt it. They will not work for it because they doubt it. Do I really need to work for it? Will it really work? Well, a goal needs to be relevant for the employee to believe in it. Yes. The last T stands for either transfer or timing. Well, transfer means your employee needs to learn something from this goal. While they're aiming for the goal, they need to learn more information from it. They need to learn, they need to develop themselves. That's for self-actualization. That's what Nikita and Nicole mentioned in the Maslow hierarchies. Then timing. A goal needs to mention the time. You cannot just say that I want to get fit, but when? I want to get fit in 3 weeks by going to the gym on Tuesday, working out 3 hours on weightlifting. That's with the timing. And with a clear timing, you will know when to do it, and you will do it exactly what it needs to be done. The next point, social interdependence. There are 2 kinds of social interdependence, positive and negative. Positive social interdependence, it means that the action of one will promote the joint achievement of both of them. So, an example, when you're working in a group, one person, a person action, it will contribute to the group goals. And the negative social interdependence is the opposite. It's when one's action will obstruct the group goals and make it worse. So it is clear that in a company we would like to have positive social interdependence, right? So if we have social interdependence positively, it will lead to cohesion. Cohesion, it will make people more open to others. Employees will feel closer, and then they will be able to work together. They will be more open. They will share more information, and they will be more relaxed when working. Well, if you are able to achieve cohesion, you can see in this table right here, with high level of cohesion and high level of criteria for performance, you have a high level of productivity. Yes, and this is also a goal and it's also easier to set a goal, because if everybody is on the same page, you can set a goal much easier. And the last thing about social interdependence is trust. Nikita also mentioned about trust in her presentation, but I have a slightly different approach. Well, trust is something that you cannot take it easily. Taking trust is you have to take risks. You have to trust. You will give yourself to other people's hand. They will hold you with them. Your life will depend on them, or something like that. But if you have trust, people are trusting each other in a group, the effectiveness will rise, and the group will be more productive. How to get trust as a national manager? Well, you have to observe your employee behavior. Okay, what you're doing, is this good for a group? Is this bad for a group? You need to know it, stop it if it's bad and promote it if it's good. And then you have to have cooperation and support with the employees, provide them as much help as you can so that they can work more. And if you are able to do that, then your employee will automatically working cooperatively. So, to the last point, I have about communication. Well, communication is something that is really hard to achieve in a group because communication have many factors. They have sender, receiver, message, encoding and decoding, channels and noises. In a group, you may have many people from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Africa. The culture is different, so the way they are talking, they may be talking in English, but what they mean is really different. Yes. So if you are in a group like that, you need to put everybody into cohesion again. You need to make them understand each other clearly. Yes. So imagine you're in a group. You're trying to solve a problem. You have 10 people from all over the world. You have to gather all the information and process it, and you have the profit. But how will you process that information? Then they are networking. There are many kinds of network by processing of information in a group. There may be the wide network, the circle, the wheel, the open, and etc. But imagine you are a boss and you want to give out information as a one-way communication. It's better to have a wheel or a wide network because then you will be able to interact with everyone and they will only listen to you. That's one-way communication. And you will be able to give them order and give them clear goals as you want. But if you want a two-way communication, when you want the employee to be creative, when you want them to work together, be trust each other, be effective, things like that, you would rather want to have this one, the open network. There are many pitfalls while communication. The first pitfall is leveling. What is leveling? Leveling is reduction of information. It's when one is talking about a problem and the listener, they will tend to reduce the amount of information into the minimal amount that they can use. And that is wrong because many useful information will be left out and it will not be understood clearly. And the second pitfall is assimilation. That is concentration. This is different than leveling because in this case they are not leaving out any information, but they are concentrating on the wrong part. In example, someone is talking about the rise of the sales of how many percent, and the other just focused on the percent and forgot that oh, it's a rise. Ooh, something is happening. It's not really clear. And the last pitfall we can have in group communication is okay. I think I've done something wrong with the slide here. I will fix it later. But it's about misunderstanding. When people misunderstand each other, as I said before, people can come from Asia, from Europe. What they mean is different, but they are talking the same English language. And misunderstanding is easily seen in a group like that. In conclusion, if you want to have an effective group so that they can work together at the best, you need them to communicate clearly with each other. You have to put them into the same channel. You need to eliminate all the noise as well, aka earphone here. And then the sender and receiver must trust each other, they must understand each other to do it. So communication is one of the most important factors in group dynamics. So, in conclusion, in this presentation, I have shown you what is group dynamics is about. I have shown you the SMART goal setting, how it will happen, and how to set a SMART goal. What is social interdependence and how it will affect your employees, your members of the group. And the last thing about communication, what I just heard, what I just talked about. And if these three factors are satisfied and these three requirements are met, synergy will happen. People's department will synergize with each other. They communicate in a good way. They can bring out a better plan. They have a clear goal. Then the company will benefit from this. It will be more productive. The company will become successful. Yes. So these are my sources that I use for the presentation. Is there any question?
Yes, my question is, without going back in your slides, could you state me your group statement again, please?
My root statement is synergy is a core aspect for success in the company.
Synergy is a core aspect for success in the company. And with stating that, what was your purpose for me or the audience to go home with? Because let me explain a little. What you told me is what is group dynamics, what is important about group dynamics, how to make it work, and what are the things to look out for. So that's all very informative. What did you want to persuade me of?
So I don't think that you have been clear enough, but I tell that group dynamics is not a really well known theory nowadays, but with group dynamics you can achieve the synergy level in a company. If a company they work like a clockwork, if everything is attached to each other, then they will be more effective. And with group dynamics you can achieve this. And if you apply group dynamics into your company policy, into the way you manage your people, then you will be able to have a successful company.
Okay. So are you trying to persuade me to pay more attention to group dynamics or to have a strategy for that? Thank you. Thank you for your answer. And although it's just me, applause for your presentation.
Thank you.
Oh, Ling, I wrote down, how did you think you did?
I still stumble on the word, but I think I did well.
Did you really well? I wrote down, where did I write that down? What is that? Ling, I think it's very brave of you to come with me to do this presentation alone, just for me. Very, very, very well done. So let's look at your skills in front of just me now, but also luckily I've seen you in class many, many times. You enjoy being out there, and you're really natural in talking to me and making eye contact. Your hand gestures, you're gathering information, and what you can do with that, everything about that I like a lot. Eye contact, tone of voice, intonation, pronunciation. Sometimes you say develop.
Yes.
Develop, you say develop, and it is develop, to develop. So now I know that you mean this word. If I weren't, and if I come from another, I'm a teacher in gymnastics, so I wouldn't know how to recognize what you're talking about. So these are just, but they're little. I think your English, even from the start, has improved even more again. You had one grammar mistake as far as I could tell. It says walking, if that's instead of working. You have written somewhere W-O-K, walking instead of working. But that's just really, it's small. So presentation skill-wise, 2 thumbs up, really good. Content-wise, your content it's like a book, but I feel like I'm not at the end of the book yet.
Yes.
So I feel that you've given me a lot of information, but I am missing the persuasive part. Although you feel that maybe you've done this, and now I'm the only one, so I can't concur with anyone. But, and I think it would have helped and to improve, to make your root statement something like, this is what I'm proclaiming. Pay better attention to your group dynamic process in the company, so you will have a better turnaround or whatever, but it has to have something, and then you could also conclude on this. So now I haven't given you information on what it is that group dynamic is, and I've shown you how you can improve the group dynamics, then it's up to you to start doing so in your company. Then you have the full circle. Now I feel like I've read the introduction of the book and part of the beginning of the book, but I'm missing where does the book end. But still, all in all, because you're weighing these 2 things, content together with presentation bearing with me because I think, again, what you did was very brave. How do you feel now?
Relief.
Good. Okay, I'll be bringing those iPads to the Amazon, yes. And I have to quickly go to the next meeting.
For
Yes.
the content part, I also mentioned about the concept of group dynamic is very broad, so we only talk about only 3 perspectives. And
That was good. No, that was good. I'm an expert on group dynamics. I teach them and I train people in group dynamics. That was fine. No, what you just, as Robert was explaining, like you shouldn't give information that we as an audience already know. I don't mind. I'm here to see if you can bring a full circle to information together with, where's the other item? It should be just, it should fit. That's it. It should be, and it was coherent.
Because many people, they said that the previous group dynamic class,
Yeah.
I had with Julia, it was not really like understanding, it was not really interesting. So I tried to approach it in another way.
You had group dynamics from Julia?
Yes.
I thought that was